Just so you know, this video contains spoilers for Sighting Force. You've been warned. Hey everyone, Zen says Flying High here. Today, I'm going to be doing a different type of video to what I do normally. Most of you guys know that I upload fighting game footage, such as matches, combos, tournaments, and the like of it. But today, I'm going to do something different. I am going to be focusing on a video game that's deeply attached to me. The game I am talking about today, you might have already known because the intro I played earlier on in this video, but you probably figured out it is Sighting Force for the Sega Genesis. The game is a strategy RPG game that came out 24 years ago in 1992. The game is known to be one of the most well-known gems for the Sega Genesis system, and I want more people to know about it. So, today, I decided to make this video showing what the game is about and talking about the gameplay mechanics and the story of the game. So, let's get started. We start off the story of an elvish girl telling a story out of an old book about the dark dragons that were created over 1,000 years ago. But it also foretells the future that they will appear once again, soon, unless someone stops them. But because you're the only one listening to her story, she decides that you are the best person for the job to stop the dark dragons from coming back. We start the game off with trading with your mentor, Varus, which is the command and army of the town you live in. But after trading with him, he gets summoned to the castle by the king because of the evil army of Runefrost is trying to open up the ancient gate to summon the dark dragon again. But because of how well known he is, he's unable to leave the town unnoticed. So instead, he sends you and your friends to go to the ancient gate to prevent it from being opened again. When you arrive, you discover that they are trying to open up the ancient gate. So you try to prevent them from doing so, and guess what? You were successful in doing so. But you then discovered that Runefrost retaliated against you for going over there when you tried to prevent the gate, and then, because of that, they attacked Garda, the hometown. When you arrive back in town, you discover the town is in ruin, and the people were barely able to prevent Runefrost from destroying their town. But in the chaos, your mentor Varus and the king died by the person known as Cain, a commanding officer of the Runefrost army, who was trying to steal the treasure of Gardner. Because of what happened in Gardner, it is your duty to prevent Runefrost from reviving the Dark Dragon and the conquest for that goal. That is basically the basic plot for the first part of the game. But let me start talking about the juicy bits in the game, mainly the gameplay. As you may know, that Sighting Force is a strategy RPG game. There are a bunch of characters that have arts types to them, such as your main character Luke, Tails, Hans, and Ken. They also have specific archetypes to them. There are definitely multiple archetypes in the game. Basically, such as Knights, which is part of Ken right there, Warriors, which is what Luke is, Elves, which is Hans, the Healers, which is Lodes, Swordsman, which is the main character, and Maces, which is Taro. And there's also more characters later in the game that have different other archetypes, but we will get to them later on. So let me start off with Knights. Knights have a couple of interesting features about them. They have high health and a decent to high attack depending on which character you use. And also they have two types of weapons you can use depending on what you want. A lance, which is a close quarters, high damage weapon with a good attack to it. Or a spear, which is a ranged weapon that allows them to attack an extra spot where the lance can actually do, but it makes it so that they have a higher chance of missing. But with also some enemies being resistant to it. Warriors are close quarter combat characters with a decent amount of health but very high attack. While Elves are ranged characters that cannot attack close quarters, meaning that they have to be a certain place away to order an attack right there. Healers and monks are your basic healers, obviously. They basically have spells that allow your other characters to either heal back to get more health like that so that that's long in the battle. While mazes have attack magic and stun magic, which the magic is not that good. I don't recommend using that in this game. To damage the enemy or prevent them from doing certain moves or actions. And finally, Swordsman, which is your main character and a couple other characters you get later on in the game. The main character has a couple of bits about him you should know. He's the only character in your army that has to stay alive. If he dies, you basically lose the battle and have to restart the battle over again. And also, if you do die right there, you lose half your money. So basically, it is a big thing if you die right there. So you have to play cautiously with him right there, so you don't get fucked over by it. He also has a couple other things about him right there, where he has a spell known as Aggress, which allows him to escape any battle, even boss battles, to basically go back right there to your saved hub right there, and either revive your characters right there, get rid of curses or stuff like that to actually prevent that. But he's also not a slouch. Later on in the game, he becomes very, very powerful. So you also have to use him like that to actually have one of the best characters in the game. Well, back to the story. After defeating a few battles, you have the option to turn into a chicken. Yes, I said that correctly, a chicken. You actually need to turn into a chicken to actually advance the plot to actually do something. Because there's a guard that for some reason loves chickens so much that he allows the chicken to infiltrate by him like that to actually let you talk to an important NPC for some reason because he loves chickens so much. I don't know why, but it's just pretty funny what happened. But right before that actually, I found a dino egg, which, just so you know, allows you to unlock a new character later on in the thing. But this character is definitely entirely missable if you don't know about the egg beforehand. So you also have to make sure you check random things you want stuff if you didn't know that. Later on, you find the overlay to allow you to talk to an ancient spirit that will help guide you along your way to stop the dark dragons from coming back. And he tells you that you need to cross the sea to stop Cain from bringing back the dark dragon. After helping the mayor of the town with finding his nephew, he gives you his ship, but one of the ruthless officers burns down the ship to prevent you from crossing the sea with it. Because of what happened, the mayor sends you up north to travel to a port that may have a ship you can use to cross the sea with. But before that, you need to cross various other towns to get to it, such as the mountain range and various other things to get to it. But because of the ruthless army trying any means to stop you in your path, they discovered an ancient weapon called the Laser Eye, which has humongous ways that will destroy anything in its path. So, before it can end you, you must end it. After saving Jallo and Pete, you're able to go to the town of Pau and then able to defeat the General Elliot for the next town. After doing that, you go to attack Bowser's fortress and try to take a ship to be able to cross the sea to find Cain and the Ruthless army. After finding an island kingdom with mermaids and such, you reach the town of Valkynira, which is a town mainly of kids, protected by an ancient dragon named Blue. You learn that Cain needs Blue to open up a gate that allows Darksoul to get the manual to tell him how to resurrect the Dark Dragon. But after defeating him, you find out he was being controlled by Darksoul to his bidding and wants to stop Darksoul before he brings back the dragon. But you find out that Darksoul was able to get both keys and manual, so he's now able to bring back the ancient dragon. So Cain tries to defeat Darksoul right then and there, but after they fight, both of them disappeared. Because of the news that Darksoul is now able to bring back the Dark Dragon, everyone thinks that he's won. But it is discovered that there is a way to defeat the Dark Dragon, which is fighting a sword known as the Chaos Breaker, which is made by combining the Sword of Light and the Sword of Darkness into one new sword. After making the Chaos Breaker, you go to Moonfast's castle to try to stop Dark Soul before you rise the Dark Dragon. After defeating the king in the process of that, you find out he's already opened the gate and is ready to summon the Dark Dragon now. So you use the Chaos Breaker to summon an ancient city from the sea to able to reach Dark Soul before he does. After a final fight against Dark Soul himself, you defeat him before he's able to summon the Dark Dragon, but with his last ounce of strength, he sacrifices himself to summon the Dark Dragon. In the final fight against the Dark Dragon, you must use all your army's strength to defeat the Dark Dragon. You find out that attacking the Dark Dragon will not kill him by normal means, so you have to use the Chaos Breaker to kill the Dark Dragon for good. But because of the force that's needed for it, the main character is unable to escape from the ancient city. So he uses the spell Aggress to allow his friends to escape to sacrifice himself to save the world. The end. But wait, we find out that the main character is able to escape and is now able to live a peaceful life in a little village by himself. The end. And that is the plot of Shining Force in a nutshell. I did miss some things here and there, but they weren't important to the overall plot. The story is a basic story for an early 16-bit console generation game. It's not an amazing story by means, but hey, that's not what the game was remembered for at all. The game is remembered for three things: the gameplay of it, the music, and the characters. This game is one of the first good and really memorable console strategy RPG games out there. It came out for the Sega Genesis. If you didn't know, back in the day I was a hardcore Nintendo fanboy, and I loved the hell out of my Super Nintendo and looking at NES back in there. But this game and the Sonic games and a few other games for the Sega Genesis made me think that there are some good systems out there besides the Nintendo Super Nintendo Entertainment System. The gameplay is deep with this. It has a ton of characters to use, and you can have up to 12 characters in your army, including yourself at all times to fight enemies. It has a good amount of secrets and items to follow along the way, while giving you a good amount of character variety so the game doesn't get stale. There are also some unique bits I haven't seen with a strategy RPG game as much as for at least the ones I have played. Such as the promotion system, which is after hitting level 10 of a character, you have the ability to promote a character to a different class, to basically change the overall look of the character, how their stats grow right there, and how better they overall are, while also allowing magic users to gain new spells they couldn't able to if you didn't rank them up in the first place. Such a good idea right there, which I would love to see more and more strategy RPG games. The music is a personal favorite of mine. The various battle themes are amazing to listen to, and some are hype as hell when certain boss battles are going on, while other themes, like solo themes like the town theme and stuff like that, are such good to listen to and fits the scene very well. Let me play some of my favorites right there so you guys can know which ones I'm particularly fond of. And finally, the characters. There are some different characters in the game, some of which might be clones of each other, like Luke and Gort, and like Henry and Tail. But there's some very unique characters that have nothing in the game to get matched on, like Domino and Gylo. Both of those characters are awesome. That's because how they are, and the uniqueness games means that they're very cool. And there's like nothing that is like similar to them at all or any other character in the game, which makes this game very replayable because of different things that they allow you to do with different characters. I suggest if you want to play this game again down the line, try out different armies with different characters that you haven't used to right there to see if you want to give it a challenge to yourself or just try something different. Because how much I hold this game to my heart, my rating for this game is a 9 out of 10. This game does have some problems, such as a bad inventory system, how you have to talk to people right there, how you have to search for anything, some bad enemy AI and other things right there. And this game, I still love to this day. If you want to play this game is available on Steam through the Sega Master System and Genesis Collection for $2.09, which is the way I play this game and how I put on my footage. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, and just please subscribe if you enjoyed this content too. Have a nice day. See you later.